Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Nighthawk High Strangeness. I'm Nighthawk, your host for tonight, and we're going to get through the disclaimer and stuff and get into the thick of it because I'm going to be good for about 45 minutes at the most, and that's it because of how I'm feeling. But I have got a lot of recent information that I have researched and investigated over the past week on top of all the other investigations I've been doing on, what God is and what actually could possibly be God's makeup and all that, that was the last podcast that I did Friday night on Into the Red Rabbit Hole. And this one it's not the same. It's more of a bloodline type of illuminati type of conspiracy theory. But this is actually pretty factual on what I've found out. So with that being said, I'm going to do the disclaimer and then we'll get into it. Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel may use some copyrighted material without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the Fair Use, which is the Copyright Act of 1976. Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel and all the podcasts on the channel declare fair use of any and all content to be used for the purposes of criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and general knowledge only. And let's not forget the entertainment value, because you will be entertained tonight. Per Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known herein as the Fair Use Act. Okay. Now, I have been very diligently going through a lot of records and stuff through Hollywood elites and shall we say, politicians and stuff like that, especially since the election's coming up here in November, which is really just around the corner, as a matter of fact. Let me get that off of the screen so you all can see me. And I'm going to get to the comments so I can say hello to everybody. But anyways, Camo Dad, good to see you, brother. All right. Anybody else out there, say hello, pop in, say hello, or if you have a question, please don't hesitate to ask. All right, let me get back to the pictures that I have. Now, we all know with the whole reptilian agenda thing and the Adrenochrome, and Eric and I actually connected the dots on all that with the vampire cults and the Luciferian cults. Even the vril society, and the royal bloodline out of the United Kingdom, the whole 9 yards. But what I found out now just adds more evidence to the connection that this all has in this, I don't even know what to call it, matrix that we live in, which, by the way, I found this odd today. I had a court hearing earlier this afternoon, and nothing criminal wise, don't worry. It's just some medical bill debts and stuff like that from my condition. But basically, I saw an advertisement on my laptop before I went into the hearing about this new hearing aid coming out, and ironically, they are one's red, and one's all blue. What's the odds on that? I mean, think about it. The odds on that is pretty weird. Okay. Anyways, that being said, bloodlines, the Black Eye Club. How many of you out there have heard of the Black Eye Club? A lot of Hollywood elites and politicians and elitists, captains of industry have basically join the Black Eye Club. Um, good evening, Darcy. I almost said good morning, Darcy, but good evening. Good evening. All right, let me see here. I'm going to show you some pictures so you know what I'm talking about here. The Black Eye Club, okay? This is just some of the pictures, all right? There are some of the so-called elitists, and look at that, even the Pope is involved in that. Obama is involved in that. Look at all the Hollywood people and politicians that are involved in that. And that's just a drop in a bucket. Okay, that's one drop of water in an entire 5-gallon bucket right there. We're talking probably somewhere along the lines of 55 to 65,000 people are part of this elitist club. Okay, and these are the criminals that run our lives every day. Okay, and I use that term criminal because you see them all the time on TV, you know, and they're, oh, we're doing it for the people and this, that, and the other thing. You know, they're not doing it for the people. They're doing it for their own financial gain, and that they don't have to work manual jobs. That's why they have us. Think about that. That's why they have us in doing the manual labor. Okay. Anyways, the Black Eyed Club is when, well, here's one for instance. What they do is they disappear. The person will disappear for a few days, and there'll be rumors of them getting hurt and all this, and some kind of freak accident. And you know, sometimes freak accidents happen, but you know, we're talking somebody very famous lately just announced that she had a severe fall on a marble floor, a tiled marble floor, and she only bruised her left eye. Okay, her left eyeball was completely bruised and blackened. Okay, and it's always only one eyeball. And it's either the left or the right eye, but it's never both of them. Okay, which you can see by the pictures. Okay. Now, this is the correlation that I found out with this elitist club. Okay, the Black Eyed Club. There is a parasite that they can put in your eye socket, and it basically controls the cognitive functions of your brain. Okay, basically making you a soldier that basically can be controlled by other means. Okay, I'm not sure if this parasite that they discovered is a foreign body, and what I mean by foreign body, I mean from another planet, another dimension, or whatever. But it is a parasitic worm that causes the people, when they have it implanted in them, to have a black eye. Okay, now, and this is factual. This was all uncovered. Okay, here's the connection. Most of these people, if not all of them, on the list of the 55,000 to 65,000 people are part of the Illuminati. Yes, I said the Illuminati. And typically, when they do the old circle over the eye, I want you to correlate what eye they're covering up, because that's the one that's going to have the bruise on it. That is a connection that I found out. Okay. 99.5% of the time, it's the same exact eye that they've got covered up in a picture that they've had of them covering up the eye. Okay. That's where the black eye is. Okay. Now, that being said, that connection being made, and clearly them flashing Illuminati signs, take it one step further. We're going to talk about bloodlines too. Okay. Now, certain bloodlines are known to be, how we say, old world bloodlines. the ones that basically are from a Germanic type of a bloodline. Well, take the King of England right now, King Charles. I discovered that he is actually a descendant of Vlad Tepes. Yes, Vlad the Impaler, Dracula. Okay, yes, he is blood related to Dracula. Okay, literally. All right. So we have a connection, and we know that it has been exposed that some of the royal families around the world harvest adrenochrome from children. And what was it? Last year was announced by the three-letter agency, the FBI, that every year over 840,000 children turn up missing. 840,000 children. Okay. Now, here's the other thing too with the black eyes. The adrenochrome, when they actually inject it in them, they're ejecting it through the eye socket. Okay. Which also causes bruising. Okay. So we have that to factor in too. Okay. So now we've got the fact that there is several people, prominent people, that have come forth and spoken out about the Luciferian and satanic stuff that's going on in Hollywood and politics and all that, with certain attempts on certain people's lives and all that. Even though, and I hate to say this, even though that our politics is a complete scam to us, okay? It makes us think that we have control, and it's not. It's an illusion, okay? A magician pulls a rabbit out of his hat. That's an illusion. Well, the government is an illusion, okay? It's not the government per se. It is all the backers of the government, which include this three-letter agency, okay? And it includes these. And if you want to break down even further, I made the connection to all 11 of these companies that control everything that we purchase every day or use every day. Okay. So that being said, it is an illusion. Okay. Plain and simple. It's the fact that they are processing and harvesting children. Now, this guy calls it the Draco reptilian Illuminati, which I tend to agree with that statement, but we have to understand that it's not just a reptilian race that's doing it. It's also some of the elitist bastards and asses in the world that think that they have the right to control their own kind. Okay. And this has got to stop. It's got to stop. Okay. Adrenochrome, when it's processed through the body, it creates a massive bruise because it is an anti-aging and how do I want to say this? A kind of like getting a B12 shot that's like the strongest in the world. It's an adrenaline rush, okay, to the body, to the system, and it actually restores youth, okay? It's like that woman that was in France back in I think it was the 1500s that used to bathe in her handmaiden's blood in a bathtub, okay? Now, it's kind of like that. You know, there's that theory out there that this adrenochrome is a reverse aging type of a thing. And that's why a lot of these Hollywood people and, you know, political people are doing it and using it, okay? Because it keeps them youthful. It keeps them around. And that's why we see pictures that are a couple hundred or even 1,000 years old of Obama, of, all the actors, and famous people in Hollywood, even The Rock, I mean, who figured, it's a complete cover up. Okay. Now, now that I found out that it's actually linked, the royal bloodline is actually physically linked to Vlad the Impaler, that makes that connection to the vampire cults even more, and makes the connection to the adrenochrome and the missing people and children even more. Okay. Because they're being literally sacrificed for these people to be keeping their youthfulness. Okay. So now we know for a fact that there are people that are being abducted, and I apologize for the graphicness of the pictures, but this is adrenochrome harvesting and body parts being harvested and used for sacrifice. Here's another one. And I realize that these pictures are really, really not cool to look at, but this is information that has to be brought out. Okay. It has to be discussed. Okay. Even animals, are sacrificed in this manner, taking body parts and actually harvesting, reproductive organs and stuff like that. So eye sockets and eyeballs and ears and all kinds of weird stuff has been harvested. Now, adrenochrome looks like a walnut. Okay, when it's actually processed. Okay, in fact, they do call it the cannibal's walnut sauce. Okay, so this is the actual gland. Okay, the adrenal gland in the human body. This is what makes the adrenochrome and puts the adrenaline into your bloodstream, and it shoots down your entire spine. And they tap into the spine in order to get it at a certain point when you're scared enough that you're pretty much ready to die. Okay, or unalived, But it all comes down to that. Okay, and I've been talking about this for a while now, and I'm surprised that I've still got airtime right now, because they usually try to shut me down. But how we doing, Jessica? Good to see you. Miriam, good to see you. Yeah, we have a real problem here, guys. This has gotten to the point where we're seeing the things going on with the Olympics, and we're seeing all kinds of stuff that is not supposed to happen. You know, they're talking about WW3, and all the wildfires now, and it's like I said previously, it's like they're prepping the planet to be a hotter, more scorched earth type of a planet atmosphere, so it'd be more conducive to cold-blooded reptilian type of beings than it would be to humans, if you know what I mean. So that being said, yeah, it's all scary and dark stuff, Miriam. It's gotten to the point. It's gotten to the point that the numbers aren't lying, and the numbers are not lying at all. And when they harvest adrenochrome, it's like I said, they harvest it from your spine. They tap into your spine. Yeah, Camo Dad, you're right. World War III is already being slow walked. That's true. Very true. I agree 150% with that statement. And it's being orchestrated by the ones that are involved in this crap too. Ex-President Bush, he had the black eye for the longest time, and his bloodline has been linked to like 75% of all the presidents throughout history have the same bloodline, and they're all connected to the same bloodline through the royal family, and all the way back into the un how do I want to say this? I gotta say this delicately. The bloodline that is the fake bloodline. Okay, it's not the real bloodline. Okay, this is the one where they took over the bloodline, and with the Illuminati's help, and they got their bloodline in to the royal family and into a lot of the big corporations. Hi, Candy, good to see you. A lot of the big corporations like BlackRock, Vanguard, Berkshire Hathaway, like I said, all the Hollywood elitists. You have politicians that literally have not been prosecuted for any crimes that they have committed to the people. Okay. And I'm talking serious stuff, I'm talking, like with Bill and Hillary, why aren't they being prosecuted for all the hundreds, if not thousands, of deaths that they caused, over their time in the politics? I mean, it's the same thing. It's always the same people that are involved in this, always. Okay, and when is enough going to be enough? That's the thing. When is enough going to be enough? I don't think that there is any hope that this would stop anytime soon. It's like I put out on my post on social media about, how it's all about control. And it's all about indoctrination and control. And in fact, it goes all the way back to where the Fed was actually formed back in I think it was 1933. There was a young man named Adolf Hitler in Germany that had started moving up into the Communist Party over there for the Nazis, and eventually he got to be the leader of Germany. And what did he do? He persecuted people, but that part of the whole story is not the whole story. Okay, the part of the story is that America and the government in America at the time were so greedy that they accepted to take a basic plea bargain with the Germans, with Hitler and all them, instead of saying that that Hitler was dead. They actually took Hitler and all of his scientists and put them into American businesses and industry. And there's been sightings of Hitler back in the 1960s of him being in the Glacier National Park because it reminded him of the Bavarian Alps, where he was from. And there's just so much that links this all together. If the United States and its allies during World War II did not defeat the Axis forces, I mean, yes, they defeated Japan, but that's all they defeated. They didn't, and Italy. As far as Germany goes, I don't think that they did, because here's another thing that I looked at too very closely. When you look at the politics of Russia, Germany, and America over the since World War II, okay? We know that in St. Petersburg, the Russians, basically starving to death, held off the German armored division from infiltrating their country basically any further, which my hat's off to them people. But take it one step further, The Russian people, they know the history of the Germans and how they're haters of certain types of bloodlines and certain types of people. At the time, I'm not saying the Germans now are, but at the time they were during World War II. Now, in order to keep the peace and to get peace a lot sooner and less lives being lost, because they were sacrificing their own slaves that work hard for the countries that were at war in World War II to actually get the stuff done. They needed to stop the wars, otherwise they would have killed off their stock of slaves for manufacturing. Okay, plain and simple. Okay, that's the only reason they stopped World War II, was because of the financial losses and gains. That's all it was. Okay, so they agreed with the Third Reich that basically, you guys come over here to America, we'll put you to work, we'll use your scientists on our NASA programs, which NASA is not a space program, it is a deep sea program. It even says that in their announcements. Anyways, how we doing, Stuart? Good to see you. The Nazis came here. Part of the Nazis were part of this Luciferian vril society, a cult. They tapped into communicating with the Draconians, the reptilian race from, Zeta Reticuli, and basically got in good with them. And there was an agreement made with President Eisenhower at the time that they could take and abduct as many people as they needed, but not to make it look so obvious. So they could process them for food, for adrenochrome, and biological research. Okay. And they've done that. Okay. They have literally done that. Okay. And the fact is that they're not even hiding it anymore, that it happens. Okay. So let's just, I call it as it is, they're creeps, plain and simple, creeps. All right. But anyways, you take that bloodline connects to the United Kingdom's royal family. It goes to the bloodline of 75% of all of the presidential candidates, including Barack Obama, George Bush Sr., Bill and Hillary Clinton. Who else? Donald Trump, believe it or not. He's like a sixth or seventh cousin to Barack Obama. And here's another known fact too. Just so you guys know that I'm divulging this right now. And if I'm not on this Friday night, you know why. The elections aren't what they seem. I just want to put it out there. Okay. It's a red pill, blue Democrat jackass, and red Republican elephant. Okay. Red pill, blue pill, just like the Matrix. What the elections is a way for people to stay in power, bloodlines to stay in power. And if you notice how they did it this last time, they slid in candidates without even really a way of nominating them. One in particular we all know about. So that's how they stay in power. And they set this stuff up years in the past to happen. Okay. This is a very well thought out long-term plan that they've done. Okay. And eventually they aren't going to need as many of us on this planet to do all their labor for them. Okay. All the blue collar people out there, all you, the ones that do the firefighting, the farmers, the shop merchants, the stalkers, the car wash attendants, the gas station owners, they have no use for you anymore. Because now, thanks to Elon Musk, our great friend, and I hope he's watching this, thanks to Elon Musk, we have a real problem with AI and robotics. And Skynet is already being used for the military drones. And I'm sure Camo Dad can even tell you that in the chat. You know, Skynet is a real thing. They give us hints and pieces of this stuff through Hollywood, okay? Because they have to. That's how that curse goes. That's how the that works with the Bible, okay? They're not deceiving us if they hint to us what they're doing, or if they blatantly come out into a movie and announce what they're doing. That's not deceiving us. That's actually making it legitimate. You understand? So the spells that they're doing in all the music industry and the movies industry and TV industry and all that being controlled by the CIA, you know, they're doing it for a reason. Okay? And eventually that reason, probably come about 2030, they won't need us at all because they'll have robots to do it. Okay? And they can live in their little bunkers that they got, you know, and little mansions under the ground and eat their steak while the remaining few humans eat bugs and drink contaminated water and die at the age of 40 instead of 80. So there it is in a nutshell. Okay. It's not a good thing that we have going on right now. The illusion, and it is a grand illusion, just like the song. Okay, it is a grand illusion that they're pulling on us. They're the magicians, and we're the actual rabbit that they're pulling out of the hat. That's all. Okay, the more rabbits they have, the more hats they can trick people into believing are magic. And it just goes on and on and on. So the connection that, like I said, Eric and I made way back when with the Luciferian and the vampire cults with the red-haired giants and the royal bloodline is now connected to Hollywood, to the Illuminati, and to Vlad the Impaler and the royal family. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for being here. Okay. This isn't going to be a long video, but I wanted to put this video out. It's something that needed to be said. Okay. Please share this. This is information that is real. It's not something to be scoffed at. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Candy, that's true. Very true. But you know, that's just another way that they control us. You know, I heard there's this, you guys, I don't know if you guys like music, okay? But I've been also listening to a lot of different types of music to figure out the pitch and the frequency on it. Because a lot of the modern music is put on 440 hertz. All the instruments are tuned to that, okay? When in actuality, it was supposed to be an angelic 423 hertz or 432 hertz, excuse me. So the Rockefellers came along and they adjusted that with the Illuminati. Basically, 440 hertz is a demonic, evil type of influencing hertz. Okay, it's used in a lot of the ceremonies and music industry. Okay, that's why you go to concerts, and some of the concerts you don't really remember because you're in that zone. Okay. So yeah, the music is supposed to be 432 hertz. So there's this one artist out there, and he's on YouTube. His name is Livingston Music. Look him up. He he's just a young kid, you know. He's got some good songs. He does it all on his own, doesn't ask anybody's help really for it, except maybe his mother. Um, and I can tell right away that his music is at 432 hertz. You'll feel the music being different. Okay, so check it out. Just, you know, he's got a couple songs. He's got one called Gravedigger and another one called oh wow, I can't remember the other one. But I listened to a couple of them, and they're all pretty much 432 hertz, which I thought was pretty remarkable that there's somebody out there that might actually be doing it the right way. Okay, because there's a lot of artists out there that aren't. They don't have good intentions at all for you. All right, to you, to them, you're just nothing. You know, that's a sad, sad world. Paranormal Oz, good to see you. It's a sad world when we are actually told by elitists that we're nothing. So I'm going to continue investigating this more, and the more I uncover, the more I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, finding out that King Charles of the UK is actually a blood descendant of Vlad the Impaler. Okay, and he actually owns the castle now. He bought the castle. There's other people living in it, but he bought the castle. So figure that one. Yeah, 532 does give migraines. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right, Darcy. Brown Dwarf, good to see you, brother. I just wanted to get this information out to everybody, okay? And the whole Black Eyed Club thing. I'm serious. The whole Black Eyed Club thing is so bizarre, um, that it's getting to the point where it's almost comical. Okay, the Black Eyed Club and is like I said, there's probably about 55 to 65,000 people involved into it. Okay, and these are results of injections into the eye socket. Okay, some of them are a parasitic, and that is injected into the eye socket that basically takes away their free will, basically puts them into almost like a robotic state to where they can be controlled. You've all seen those videos of the sportscaster, the black sportscaster standing there completely still, getting his microphone adjusted, not blinking, not showing any sign of movement at all. And I'm sorry, but it's hard to keep your eyes from not blinking for more than a minute. Okay, but he was doing it. Well, that also is something part that we'll be discussing too at a further date. That is really, really bizarre. And where their black eyes are, I want you to look at this next picture, okay? Are usually the hand over the eye is the eye that's usually black and blue, which is that's a illuminati type of a sign right there. Okay. The Kardashians are part of it. I mean, Kanye West is exposing it. Diddy's part of it, and all that weird crap that's going on with Diddy. Epstein Island is part of it. That's where a lot of the children were filtered through and disappeared. And a lot of the stuff, the disgusting stuff that they're pedophile type of things are doing with the pizza and the hot dog type of thing. The cover up there. But it's getting to the point where these connections are all being made, and eventually they're going to stop people like us that are researching this stuff and putting it out on the airways. They're going to find a way. So with that being said, I'm going to say I'm not suicidal. Okay. I may be dying from something, but I'm not suicidal. So if they say it's suicide, they're lying to you. So, but mark my words, it's not going to get any better, guys. It really isn't. Okay. It really, really isn't. Anyways, I am going to keep up with this research. I'm going to let you guys know everything I find out. And in fact, I'll probably bring it up even more on Friday night and reemphasize a lot of the stuff, because there's so much information here that I'm finding out that it's overwhelming. It's literally draining, So, but if you can, like, heart, and share this out. Subscribe to the channel. Why not? I got a couple more videos that I put out for the members only. But it's really sick. Yeah, Woo Rider, you're right. They are sickos. They are complete sickos, and they need to be taken out of the public eye, per se. I don't know how far this Black-Eyed Club can go, but I do know that if the Vatican's involved in it now and politicians are involved in it now, that there is really no one we can really trust. Okay. So I mean, you guys can trust me. As long as I'm around, I'm going to speak the truth no matter what. So, but you guys watch your backs. All right. Just watch your backs. Don't keep an eye out for phony people. All right. People that may seem like they have your best interests at heart, but they don't. You'll be able to read into it. The more you're opened up to it, to knowing what's going on, you'll be able to spot it. Okay. But just be careful, everybody. All right. Watch your backs and question everything, man. Like I do. I question everything, If you haven't watched the podcast from last Friday, you might want to on the YouTube channel, because that's another eye-opening thing where I discussed God and basically why we're here and basically what God is. So anyways, Griff and everybody, Brown Dwarf, Darcy, Woo Rider, Candy, Camo Dad, Miriam, you guys have a great, great night. Okay. Stay safe. Remember, we're in this together. Okay. So I will see you all Friday night. Okay. I might have something this Wednesday night. I'm not sure. I might put out something Wednesday night. We'll see. Okay. We'll see. I might do a survival show or something like that. Okay. Everybody, I'll catch you later. All right. God bless you all. Like, heart, and share.